It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go touchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power. Over naira, still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Good morning to you.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good afternoon to you.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun diary.
And good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary.
Please share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Maiyegun today.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun diary Politico.
Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Share the broadcast. Like the broadcast, which is actually your own offering. Then you can sit back, relax, before you start the 2 fighting, 3 fighting, group fighting in the comment section. Do those. Before then, share the broadcasts.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé.
What to do?
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn.
Of course, I miss you.
Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Chinese contractors, they are funding terrorists in Nigeria. They are funding militants. They are funding all kind of terrorism in Nigeria in the areas where they have interest, or they are currently stealing natural resources of Nigeria. So many questions to be asked. Who ask? We may never get answers, but let's put it out there. Usually the common question that people kind of ask every time you talk about killings in Nigeria. Oh, these terrorists attacked the village, they killed 200 people. Oh, they attacked that village, they kidnapped 80 people. What do they really want? 10 years of bloodbath and terrorism in Nigeria. 10 years of illegal mining escalating in Nigeria. Does this too have any connection with religion? Well, we have to ask tonight. Also, the most anticipated, much awaited legal battle between Tifnumbu, Obi, and Atiku, the Rogbodion, that is still very much around after their charade selection. Well, by this time next week, Friday next week, so to say, then the legal fireworks would have started. Well, on this program tonight, forgetting all propaganda for now, forget all the other things you've heard, I will tell you what is most important and why. It is also very much important you follow this. If you are interested on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, what are the prayers of Atiku? What are the prayers of Tifnumbu? What are the prayers of Obi himself? We should not be kind of swayed by lies, and then kind of gets lost in between what exactly are the points or what are they actually fighting for. It's important. Share the broadcast. Yes. The icing on the cake. President select Alhaji Pastor Chief Kolu, the Jaga Bandit, has been listed as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. This thrown a lot of people into frenzy yesterday. How dare you trying to make somebody the most important? I mean, what do you mean? Influential Bawo is a drug dealer. Say, come on, blood they hot too. A lot of them didn't even read the article before they pounced on the author. She had to like a kind of lock all her social media handles to save herself from the vitriolic attacks coming from Nigerians that believe that Kolu must have paid her for the Time magazine to launder his image as a very well acceptable, loved person. They didn't read the article. I bet a lot of you who later read the article kind of understand that influence, influence, you have different kind of influence. Here you get the Same Time magazine, right? Once put this guy up. Do you know him? That's Alhaji Shekau. Alhaji Shekau is so influential, like Osama bin Laden. Their influence and their act of terrorism is what make them kind of, they make the news all the time to the point that they have people following them, right? And then they believe in them. Influential people in the world. There's nothing special about it, right? And if you kind of go back to history too, there are those who have been in the same list. Look at that. Time Magazine Man of the Year. Time Magazine Man of the Year. So there's no point in kind of going into that frenzy is part of kind of distractions that are unnecessary. While you should be mounting pressure and asking, where is Kolu? Where is he? The man that declared him said they are putting up 12 senior advocates of nonsense in Nigeria to defend the charade. And according to him, what they did on the 25th and the 25th of February happened to be the best election ever in Nigeria. So all of these other things are just pure distraction, but they are also part of the whole thing. So, and there are more. But the first part of tonight, before we go into politics, is this concerning part of insecurity in Nigeria. Again, people have been saying this for long, but it doesn't seem that people believe in what they are saying, or like if you believe in what you are saying or what you know, then you should be more concerned about the consequences of such on the rest of us. What do I mean? In the time past, the West, you know, the people they consider the West, they are like America, Europe, yes, they call them the West. Those ones they call the East. I think Asians are part of them, maybe East. They are the Arabian Peninsula and all that. So for decades, right, a lot of people who have seen the presence of the West in the affairs of Nigeria, like you find them in almost all sectors, especially the oil sector, oil and gas sector, the natural resources that's so lucrative, easy, and all that. Yeah, they are much there. But during these decades, right, with different kind of governments in Nigeria, whether military, whether interim or civilian, whatever, with the presence of the West in Nigeria, for example, and same with all other African countries, by the way, people have considered that to be a rip-off. You know what I mean? Successive governments in Nigeria have contributed with the collaboration of this West, okay, to impoverish the people of Nigeria from generation to generation. Believe so, right? And somehow we decided to call them the imperialists. They are no longer colonialists. They are those who are aiding and abetting the criminals who are running Nigeria. When they get, all they have to take from them is just bribes. And they can just look away. When the environment is being abused, you know what I mean? Environmental degradation and all that, coming from the health and safety neglect of what these guys cannot do in their country. Remember, this is our sentiment. Our sentiment is that all they are interested is what they can take from us, and at the same time help our own criminal leaders to siphon and then save whatever they are looting from Nigeria. That the West have never really contributed anything to the growth of Nigeria other than promoting imperialism and then encouraging the looters of Nigeria and giving them safe havens, including their family members. This is our sentiment. They dipped us into debt. They helped impoverish us while they are cutting away every natural resource they can get from every part of Nigeria. And while the people are getting poorer and poorer, those who are supposed to protect the interest of the people, they are getting richer and richer. So it's not like wealth in the midst of poverty. Decades. Some people were even saying, can Nigeria point at any major projects done by the West in Nigeria, like to help Nigeria, build rails, roads, and all of that stuff, with the loans they are giving to Nigeria? Why is it that they are just like handing the money over to the politicians who are also going to like reloot the money and send it abroad back to the same economy of the lender. That what is actually concrete thing that the West built in Nigeria for 60 years. Now, that's our sentiment. So Chinese came, especially the moment we cross, between 2000, the millennium, they call it, the moment we crossed the millennium, the Chinese came. And it was, from the start, a very good thing. They were not greedy. They were not selfish. They are interested in nation building. They are, in fact, interested in long-term relationship. They are giving very low interest loans. They are bringing their own, engineers and expertise, and they are ready to transfer same. All this were much like protecting what they call the local content, to put them under checks, right? They call those foreign direct investment. Obasanjo actually facilitated most of those. Now, 20 years after that, the story is changing, not just in Nigeria, across Africa. The rip-off is in a different way. It is, in fact, in the most illegal way. Now, let me tell you something. When you walk into a bank, right, and then you grab a bag of money and you decide to make for the door, you'll be considered a criminal, a thief who came to rob, right? That is illegal. By law, it is illegal. But you can sit down in an office without having to rob that bank, but with a pen and paper and just a name, or a title attached to your name. You can rob the same bank of of millions or billions of naira. That is legal. You just have to do it the legal way of looting. So you see the two. So in Nigeria, the criminals running Nigeria, right? They need collaborators. However, the same kind of operational procedure, not only. What is the need for us? Or can we just look away? So when they brought the Chinese to Nigeria, they developed something called local content. In fact, I think they even made law called local content law, which means any foreign investor in Nigeria, whether na major, whether na small, you would have to have a Nigerian or set of Nigerians as board of directors of that your company. Now, the primary reason by that law is to protect the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians in such businesses. What are the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians? As a member, you are expected to be honest, sincere, and patriotic to your country. So if you have a company that is working in the extractive industry, and through you, they are granted the license to operate and extract and mine. So you would have to represent the honesty in that board that Nigeria is not ripped off, because the benefit of that company should serve the people of that Nigeria first. That should be the primary thing, the patriotic thing. But that is not how Nigeria works. Sure you get. So what happened is, what is in it for us? So when those who found themselves in the board of directors of some of these companies, including these Chinese companies, it was easier to corrupt them. Should I say, people who are already interested in stealing from you. Then you decided to make it easier for them by saying, as long as they take care of you, they have no problem. Right? So with that, they became on money. Nobody's monitoring anybody anymore. So what does that mean? It now gave birth to the act of desperation, illegality that has now snowballed into sponsoring terrorism. So there is a tabloid that decided to kind of open the eyes of the people of what is really going on now. Like, Like I said, when the Shell, American company, oil companies, British oil companies, when they were milking and extracting oil from Nigeria, yeah, they were just paying the royalty to the thieves, and the thieves were doing whatever they wanted to do with the money. The country is poor, but the handlers of Nigeria are rich. There are families in Nigeria who actually owns oil wells. They are given to them because of their political connection with those in government in Nigeria. So all they have to do is to bring an American company, a British company to come and help them, mine or extract this oil, right? So they get paid the royalty, they pay the government, everybody is happy. But by the time the one that got to the government is shared among all other organs of government in Nigeria, states, local governments, at the end of the day, when these cankerworms, this cancer, they're cut across all political parties, cut across all religion, they're cut across all ethnic and tribes in Nigeria. By the time the whole money will trickle down, there'll be nothing left in the top for the main citizens. Okay, this is how it's done. Pay us, give us something. Forget the rest. We'll know what to do with our people. Here you get. So when the Chinese came, they were supposed to operate like normally, build roads, build bridges, get loans, and then all that stuff. Like, it should be things that actually help create jobs, develop communities. If this community has so much natural resources, that is, in fact, you see, when most of these areas where you have these terrorists today, we have now found out that those who are shouting Allah Akbar, cutting people's head off, those who are telling you that you either accept this or not, or those who are kidnapping you for ransom across Nigeria today, they are now being linked to so many companies, many of them Chinese companies, who have been given licenses to operate at a particular spot in Nigeria, but they have now extended their operation across Nigeria. And the mode of operation is this: scare the people away. And the message is, oh, they want to take over our land. That's actually the message. That these people are coming, the Fulanis are coming to take over our land. But there is also other parts that a lot of people don't even know. It's easier to use that, even though I still strongly believe that after Bokwari's and their other whatever terrorists in their government, when they are no longer given the free way, or should I say the free pass to the terrorists who are murdering the people that we believe are coming to take land, or that they might actually not just come in to take the land for themselves, but to occupy the land for as long as possible, chase the owners of those places away, extend and start their illegal mining, destroy the whole ecological formation of the land. And when they are done, they move to another place. And that's exactly what is going on right now. So people will be killed. Terrorism, the level of terrorism that is spreading right now, have now been linked to some of these illegal Chinese companies in Nigeria. Some arrests have been made in the past, but that's all. Nothing major. In Zamfara, more than 10,000 people were killed. When we thought the Fulani terrorists, they call them bandits, were attacking farmers. They were killing people on their farms, unprovoked though, only for them to start mining gold, lithium, and so many other natural resources there that are actually like very valuable, resources for an end product like car batteries, lithium batteries, all these strong modern, technological, stuffs that are coming out there. People are being killed. Terrorism are being kind of, spread, and the accusation, the fingers are now pointing at the government of Nigeria as well as the government of China. Now, how is this operation working? In the areas where they have local chiefs, they will approach the local chiefs, approach the youth, offer them money, peanuts to start with, and tell them that with this license from government, so they will bribe the police, They will bribe the police chiefs. They will bribe everyone that needed to be bribed. But in the areas where they believe that they need to get what they want, and these guys are not cooperating, that is when crisis will begin there. Like from nowhere, people being killed and slaughtered and chased out of their homes and houses being, and no arrest will be made. Nothing. It will make the news for a few days, and after that, nobody hears anything anymore. And those areas are now like quarantined, covered up. And to be to people's shock, these criminals, these foreign criminals in Nigeria that have to resort into terrorism to get what they want, they have been fingered as they're actually being protected as as expatriates in Nigeria. They are rogues driving tinted cars, being chauffeured by escort vehicles where you have well-armed policemen, military guiding them into the heartland of most terrorized part of Nigeria. So other questions are like, how are they getting all of these things out of Nigeria? And how much of these our people have died for today? Let me show you one clip out of an arrest made in 2020, I believe. Let's check this.
The operation at this illegal vast dredging site with two major...
This is present, okay? This one is the old one.
Zamfara State Commissioners of Police Usman Nagogo led the operation to the hideouts of the Chinese nationals who are engaging in illegal mining at the Kwali mining site. The police stormed the house where the foreign nationals are residing at Nasara Bukulu community in Bukulu local government of Zamfara State and arrested two of them. Also arrested alongside the foreigners was a Nigerian girl. She is said to be a cook and cleaner for the foreign illegal miners. The arrest of the two foreigners indicates that it is not only Nigerians who are operating illegally at the Kwali mining site in Zamfara State, but foreigners as well. CP Nagogo explains that the police is committed to ensure the enforcement of the federal government ban on mining activities in Zamfara State. That is why it has deployed about 63 additional mobile policemen to the Kwali mining site.
Fuzzling us was the fact that the federal government has banned all mining activities since 2016 in Zamfara. So we are not expecting to see even a Nigeria engaging in gold activities, and not to talk about even a Chinese national. But you are living witness. The Chinese personnel are here and they are engaged very much in that illegal mining activity. Decision will be made by Inspector General of Police, because from here we'll transfer them to Abuja. In Abuja we will make necessary decisions and our own stop at.
Items recovered in the house include chemicals, gold, sand, and charcoals, among others, which are being used by the foreign nationals in the minings of gold at the Kwali site. Adamu Silas, AIT News, goes out.
You get that? Illegal, destroying the environment, and once they are done and they have nothing left in that site, they will move to another part as well. And it is everywhere. When they make the news, it's just to tell you that maybe 1 out of 1,000 of them is making the news maybe once or twice in a year. And the only reason why they will make the news is just when the bribe is not shared accordingly, right? As you are seeing them displaying one set, they are protecting other sets elsewhere. The environment, you see, I'll come back to that. The health hazard of this is another scenario, but the immediate violent attack, the killings of the people, for no reason, they'll just tell you that 45 people killed in Benue. Why are they killing them? For what? Oh, there are 30 people killed in Sokoto, 60 people kidnapped, 20 killed in Katsina. And you'll be wondering, what do they want? Like, what exactly do they want? They don't want anything. They want what is actually under the ground that these people are living. And the only way to get rid of them, when they are not taking all the offers they are giving them, is to force them out, unleash violence. And that is why most of the violence that you get to read about in the news, they are like after they happened, are mostly coordinated. which means you'll be wondering, how did those people escape? How could they operate for 4 hours in a community or several communities? They massacred and killed people 4 straight hours, and there was no single response from anywhere. State-sponsored terrorism, APC, Egbekegbe, unleashing terror on your people, unable to protect them, and being so dishonest with them, telling them this is our problem, this is what we're facing. Rather, just kill them. That's what they will say, right? In Rivers State, it is not just gas flaring, crude oil spillages and all that the environment in Rivers State is suffering from. They are also extracting other natural resources there, mineral resources there, that are also endangering the lives of the people, destroying the environment. And here we are, no real medical facility to even let people know what danger they are exposed to. Instead of, a lot of people are suffering different health problems right now in Nigeria. They have no idea what they are suffering from. They have no idea where they all came from. But guess what? The environment is continually being ruined illegally. They can mine anything anywhere. But these are meant to be with the chemicals that have been released into the atmosphere, with the level of, contamination that they are actually exposing to the underground water as well. Things that actually contribute to health hazard of the people are considered, when people now start having that health problems, then they will say spiritual attack, spiritual problems, and the rest of that. I was on Twitter earlier today, and then somebody posted that in a market in Lagos, someone ran mad. He ran mad. So others who are commenting under that, so because he ran mad, they now tied his hand, they tied his leg, and he was left on that dirty ground and all that. And everybody was just staring at him because he ran mad. So in Nigeria, they just believe that people just run mad. You get that? So when you tell them about a mental health problem, right, that actually starts from small and start building and start building up and start building up until it kind of, escalates. And when it escalates, right, then they have that episode. That episode that those who are actually, some of those who are tying that guy, that he ran mad, maybe he did their money ritual, or maybe he did maybe somebody swear for him, so he ran mad. Majority of them are suffering from mental health problem as well. Their own hasn't kind of built up to the level of exploding to run mad. It is the same thing with the level of exposure that people are exposed to in Nigeria, where a lot of the health problem they are suffering from are coming from all of these activities that people are doing just because they want quick money. A quick money that doesn't actually take them out of poverty, further contributing to their poverty state and all that. And the government that should know better, the people in government that should care more, are also the same. They are just interested in what is going to come out of it for them. So everybody is just living in that way. And in Rivers State, where they are suffering, Niger Delta region, where they are suffering environmental degradation, where sea life is almost to extinct right now. Yes, some of you can go to some part of Nigeria and go fishing. In Niger Delta part of Nigeria, it is just pretty much like a miracle for them to go to their rivers, to their streams, or to their oceans that they want to go and fish, like you. Now, if they actually get any fish from their river, they are eating poisonous food, because most of those fishes are product of contaminated water. That is River State, but that's not the only, that's Niger Delta. A big problem that even this Bukwari's government campaigned, and they publicly said they expended $2 billion. A joke, right? Ogoni clean up. So they will spend $2 billion. In fact, Pastor Ruga came out and he said they've spent $2 billion cleaning Ogoni land. They took some katakata and some tipa, took some pictures, excavating excavating a portion, and then they took pictures. They said, yeah, that's Ogoni cleanup going on. $2 billion has been paid. And this was probably 4 or 5 years ago. Ogoni land is still very much contaminated with crude oil, soaked ground. I'm saying go to these areas in Niger Delta, right, and shove your shovel, right? Dig your shovel into the half there, onto the ground, and dig it out. And then you will realize that it's all contaminated with crude oil and other chemicals that are being released to the. Now, cleaning this up is a special campaign, a special fraud that those who are supposed to care for Nigerians are rather milking it. It's an opportunity for every one of them over time. Now we have those who are also mining illegally, doing worse. Cancer and other strange illnesses, children suffering different kind of ailments, some of them that cannot really be diagnosed. Children in Nigeria, nobody can really say what is wrong with them. They are taking them to spiritual houses. They are trying to force them to force the demon out of them. But again, the government that should know better, educate the people better, protect them more. No, they will rather milk it. Here is another report. This one is recent from the same Rivers State.
The operation at this illegal vast dredging site with 2 major sand dumps lasted for almost 2 hours. It was initiated by the Federal Ministry of Mines and State Development to check environmental degradation and other harmful activities. The ministry was ably supported by a retinue of security operatives from the Army, the police, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and men of the Federal Ministry of Immigration.
The aim is to interrogate them by way of investigation. If they have any document to show on how to go into this business, because to go into this business, you need licenses, and even if they are foreigners, before they come to enter into that business, they should do their due diligence.
Oga Michael Bisong is the Rivers State Commandant, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, whose custody the 9 suspects are kept for interrogation, preparatory to their prosecution for illegal mining and environmental degradation.
Whatever mining activities are going on, it's our duty to provide security, also to work with Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel to discourage illegal mining and other mining that, even if they are legal, the mining should not degrade the environment.
Umaruba is particularly pained that these miners continue with their illegality daily, even with the devastating impact on the environment, humans, and aquatic life.
You can see clearly from where we are seeing, even they have left even dredging the sand from the river. They have even gone to the upper land and, breaking down the walls, degrading the environment, which is not too good. So that is why we have to at least come here and get them so that they can explain and to tame the tide and send the signals to others.
Impounded at the raided site, said to be operated by an unnamed Chinese company, are 3 sand dredgers with 1 loaded with sand. Both were taken to the NSCDC exhibit yard at Ogbogoro in Port Harcourt. On site during the operation were 6 tippers, 2 payloaders, store/mechanic workshop housing different parts of machines used for fixing faulty operational equipment, 25-liter kegs of lubricant oil, tug ropes, 15 bags of cement, gas cylinder. Amongst the 9 persons arrested are a Chinese national and a lady who operates point of sale and other financial transactions for the illegal miners at the Akpajo sites. Suspects were not allowed to be interviewed by the media. From Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, Andy Omano.
Thank you very much, Andy. And the credit for that clip goes to Arise News. They give us that. Now, this should be something that should get you thinking. I know some of the Lagos Abobakus, they can always be very unruly. Unfortunately, right? You are those exposed to the danger of what this actually represents. The danger is monumental. That's the health and part of it. And when you get hit by any of this, it won't kind of spare you because you are supporting APC or you are a member of APC. It won't spare you simply because you don't like Maiyegun. So because you don't like Maiyegun, all of these things will never touch you. Come on. If you have it's sad. Let's be honest, okay? It is a very hard thing for anybody who publicly profess for APC, Egbekegbe, to have brain. It is very uncommon. You won't need it. Why would you be thinking? When they were already you already are source that they do the thinking for you. I'll come back to you. This is not politics now. This is something that could actually take away your life or the life of those you probably care for. And it won't be because you are either Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa. Everybody is now exposed to it. And that is the danger. We only have these little evidences to kind of prove the point. You know, if I sit down here and I'm just talking like, all that, it's going to sound like boring, It's going to sound like, is he making all these things up? And that is why, if you have a mind of your own, whether you are living in Nigeria or you are not living in Nigeria, it is a call for concern. Let me tell you let me show you the violent part of it. They are killing people in this part of Benue. And they have actually been killing people for so long. Somebody will tell you, is it today they are killing people? The question is, why? So if we then have evidence that there are those who are actually conducting illegal mining, that they are actually said to do, they are not like people, conducting mining is not something that you can just do overnight. No. In the areas where you are welcome, you are going to hire the youth in that area. To them, they are working for a company. Meanwhile, your job is illegal. All you have to keep it legal is to pretend that you are helping the community to help them degrade their community. They don't know what you are really looking for per se or how you do it, but they believe they are working for a company, even though it is illegal. That's where they are accepted. So they will be paying those they call the elders, leaders, chiefs, or kings in those communities. No wahala. Sure, you get? Those ones are like in their thousands across Nigeria. But those who fail, or let's say when some new people get to know about them and they come to demand for their bribe and you are not giving them, or they change the leadership of all those groups you are giving money to, and you refuse to follow the new leader, or the new one is demanding for more money and you are not giving them, then they will bring their men, they will bring media, they will pretend that they are working. But in the areas where all of these are not existing, I mean, the people of the area are not cooperating, the police and the rest of them are kind of playing hard, then they will unleash terror, move guns and the rest of that. And then you'll be like, why are they killing them? What do they want to collect from poor people? For example, people in IDP camp, what do you want to collect from them? That you have to go to people that you killed their relatives and family members and people they loved. You turn children to orphans. You turn women to widows, men to widowers. And some of them are now living, some young men to disabled. Now they are living in refugee camps, far away from their homes. And then you turn gun on them. For what? Have you ever asked yourself, like, for what exactly? What do they really want from them? Then we realize that it may not actually be what they want from them, but because what they want from the land that they are staying on. And the only way to get rid of them, get rid of everything for some months, settle down and start setting up their mining machines. And once they are done within 3 months, it's like a movable thing. Sure, you get. They just come here. If you want to mine legally, they will do all the documentation. They will do all the kind of environmental check. They will then set a sort of a barrier to distance the area in a way that civilians and the place you are mining, right, there will be a level of segregation. So that whatever is being done in that place, following the rules and regulation put in place, right, means that everything happening in that place is protected by the Nigerian law. And therefore, whatever comes out of there is also protected by the Nigerian law. But that is not happening. So once they chase the people away and kill them, they set up their camp. For a few months, when they are done, they move. They leave the entire place, wherever it is, whatever they have actually, exhumed from the earth. They leave everything there and they move on. So, this is the part of the violence. Killing people for what?
The youth in this community. And what I am saying, the complaint that I have this morning, that I want the whole country to listen to, Mr. President to also listen to me, is all about peace and security of this great local government. I am from another place called Ikobi. Since the 2nd of January, we have been attacked by herdsmen. Nobody from that community can reside in their place. We have been in the local government headquarters. More than how many kilometers? In Ikobi, Ogba, Ologba, Ugbobi, Ijaha, Imana, Akpete. All these places that I'm mentioning for you, they are not staying in their places. Which government that will not protect its citizens? What kind of government is that? When the youth start shouting, you say they are making trouble. We are not making trouble. We have been protesting since morning. Nobody have ever raised arms or cutlass or anything. Fulani man will be riding cow with cutlasses, AK-47. Nobody will say anything. They have another immunity that they are operating, that we Nigerians, we don't understand. The government should tell us if they have more power than other citizens of this country. As you look at this community, all the people you see around here, they are not from this community. They are from the community being displaced by the herdsmen. The community called Ugbobi, under the same local government, a bidder chief was killed and the hand that controlled the bid was taken away by these same headers. And you want us to keep quiet. Which country are we? The government should tell us, where did we belong to? Are we also citizens of this country? I am asking questions and I need an answer. Soldiers will be around the community, still the army, the Fulani herdsmen will be coming to behead people. What are they there for? Are they protesting us? Are they guiding the community? Or are they playing games with our lives? This is a pure video of what is happening in Borno State. There are some persons or individuals who will be making sure that there will be no peace in this country because they are benefiting from it. They should call the GOC commandant, 72 Battalion, Nasme Barras in the Makodi, ask them questions. The boys you posted to Apa, don't touch me. The boys you posted to Apa local government to safeguard lives and property of the citizens in Apa local government. What are they doing? We have 2 barracks in Makodi, in Benue State headquarters. We have 72 Battalion, we have Nasme Barracks. The commandants that send these boys down there, they should ask the boys, what are you doing? What are you doing? Which job are you doing there? They are fucking our girls, fucking our wives, killing our girls, making merriment because we have situation in our hand. We are tired of that. We are making this protest because we want Nigerians to know that people are passing through difficulties.
Thank you.
There are women who are running with children all over the places. They don't know where to hide their head. There are boys who can no longer go to school because they are scared of Fulani herdsmen. Fulani have turned our schools in the village to their camp. Are we under civil war? Are we going through civil war in this country? Let the government tell us. Let the governor of the state tell us. Let Mr. President tell us. We are not happy. And I want to make it categorically this morning that we are not happy, but we are not violent people. You can see the youth around here. Nobody is carrying arms. Nobody is carrying cutlass. Nobody is carrying any kind of weapon in their hand. Armies are here shooting guns. But I'm telling you, they should shoot from now till night. We are not going to resist. We must stand our feet and make our voice heard. Please, I want to create rejection because people will be looking at it that maybe you are spoken, you have come out to expose some societies. My life is not safe. My life is not safe. My identity has been exposed. My name is Ahmed Shedan from this community. I'm not hiding them because I am not better than those who have lost their lives. If I am good, I am not good more than those bearded chiefs that the Fulanis have killed. Fulani have the contact of the same man to call him. Where are you? And the man thought maybe the people are his people and he identified his whereabouts. They went there to behead the man. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? What kind of country do we want to build? A country with...
Am I here to think that the APC is the best thing to happen to Nigeria? I'll be a fool to say so. Am I here to say that there are no thieves within the APC? I'll be a fool to say so. Will I be here to defend the APC as the purest political party, as the cure all and be all, and the and the cure elixir we have been looking for? I'll be a fool to say so. No.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, may them kill you.
Amen. Now that is the violence part of it. I mean, the credit for that clip goes to Idoma TV, and we are grateful for that clip because it's just to show to you that this is non-graphic or what people are actually going through. I was reading your comments there when some of you were saying, my friend, stop shouting, fight back. Now, let me tell you something. You kind of have to come to reality for a moment to understand that when you are battling with state-sponsored terrorism, simply means the people you are seeing and the group you are seeing and that are being mentioned all the time, they are not super powerful. In fact, the people could take them on themselves. Historically, tribes and ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, they survived by fighting different invaders in their history. I mean, I am an Ijebu man. And as an Ijebu man, I have my very rich history about the conquest of Ijebus, as well as the resistance of the Ijebus against invaders. So Nigerians, everybody from every part of Nigeria, I mean, historically, are never, ever kind of coward. They have never been cowards in fighting back any invaders. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. Somebody said, yeah, you win some, you lose some. But people survived centuries until now, when APC, Egbekegbe, took charge of Nigeria and decided to disarm Nigerians. Now, let me tell you how that works. We initially spoke about, or we were talking about the influence, as well as, the influence of the Chinese minor contractors, they are called, in funding militants, they are called, or bandits. Or can't you just come clean and call it a funding terrorism? How? I'll tell you. The government of APC, Egbekegbe, gave a blanket immunity to Fulani terrorists. And they went to market, right, to delegitimize Nigerians from talking about it by therefore labeling them as Fulaniphobic. Now, Fulaniphobic means if the terrorists come to your locality with their cows, the Fulani terrorists with their cows, their guns, and they wreak havoc, when you are making that report, just call them bandits. Don't say Fulani bandits or Fulani terrorists. Don't say that. That is Fulaniphobic. I've been a Fulaphobic. I think I made that word up, because even myself, I haven't really kind of heard it before. I've heard about Islamophobia, and all of that phobia. And we've also come to accept that there is also an existence of Igbophobia. Or Fulaniphobia. Anyway. You are just going to be labeled the enemy, the aggressor, the instigator, the inciter. You are inciting the people against the Fulanis. Hello, I said Fulani terrorist. Say all Fulanis are they all cow rearers? Can't we but just say some criminals? We have Igbo bandit. We have a Yoruba bandit. We have a hello, calm down. We have criminals, yes. But we are talking about terrorists here who are migrating, massacring people, wreaking havoc, and no single arrest is made. No single conviction is made. Not even a prosecution. So how many Yoruba bandits have you found in Sokoto? Kidnapping and killing people, collecting ransom and beheading people. How many Igbo bandits have you found in Ilesha or Oshogbo? How many Igbo bandits have you found somewhere in Kebbi? Kidnapping people, collecting ransom, and making videos of it. So please, that is what the propaganda of APC did. They kind of wanted Nigerians to be scared of talking about what they saw or what they see. So it became an offense. Hate speech. Hate speech against Fulani is because you hate Fulani, because Buhari is Fulani. Hello. People are dying. And if Buhari cares about everyone, whether you be Fulani, whether you be Igbo, whether you be Yoruba, once you commit a crime under your law, you should be apprehended, prosecuted, and then punished for your crime. We discovered that rather than that, we found Miyetti Allah. Miyetti Allah Bawo. Miyetti Allah. And then the presidency of Buhari said, Miyetti Allah is equivalent to Ohaneze Ndigbo and Afenifere of Yoruba and Arewa of Arewa land. Really? The people that are spokesperson for killers, murderers, they are now equivalent to the cultural, traditional, and what have you, or groups and organizations. Yes, APC said that. And that is why, if you see the leader of Miyetti Allah, you will think it's either a deputy governor of a northern state or a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He has his own convoy. He has his own security. He's protected 24/7. Yeah, he drives like, high-profile guy that is giving the governors of southern Nigeria ultimatum. If you don't do those, and so we'll deal with you. Really? Under this APC, now this is like an organized capture. They are in control of the military. They are in control of the police. And they started disarming the people, taking away their weapons. If they see you with ordinary knife, Omo Kutu engineer, Omo Suleja prison. Hello, Nijo Mobe. May your creator not let you go there. So it became an offense. And guess what? Whenever these terrorists are coming to attack, listen, they don't come during the day. They come during the night when people are sleeping. And when they come, they first set homes and houses ablaze. They come in their hundreds on their bikes, right? And when people start running out of their houses, that's when they will be hiding and start shooting and killing people. Children, women. In that pandemonium, in that chaos, they will just start macheting the people and the rest of that. Bodies everywhere. Those who survive are run to the hills or run to this, right? These are the people that have already been disarmed. They also have people who actually say, yeah, that one has a gun. That one has this or that. People are being picked up. by the secret police in Nigeria that are not making the news. They are being charged for terrorism simply because they are suspected to be one of those that could stand up and defend their communities. Why do you think they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu? Why? Because he kept telling them that the Igbos will defend themselves, and he started showing it. That was what put him on that red flag, like higher flag. Why? Because those who are supposed to keep the people safe are those behind those who are terrorizing the people. So the Chinese who are also committing all of this, it's like the place you wanted to plant cola nuts. I want to plant cola nuts here. Then you went and you came back maybe 4 or 5 months later. And then you have seen that there are some short of cola nuts trees that are already like kind of, popping up. That's exactly what you have. Nigeria is already being taken over by terrorists in government. They have made provision and protection for terrorists in Nigeria. Even when people fought back, listen to this one, they managed to capture these terrorists and all that. The Nigerian military will go back there. The police released them anyway. Now, you see, when the terrorists finally chase everybody away, do all they want to do. When the people start gathering, like, we need to fight back. We need to fight back. The military that didn't show up for 6 hours when these people are being slaughtered, when these communities are being burnt down, the military will now show up. They are not there to chase the terrorists. They are there to stop the communities from coming together and staging a reprisal. Reprisal attack is that we know them. And guess what? Surprisingly, the communities that have come under different attacks, before they came under attack, have always been like raising alarm of this surprise, sudden, weird gathering of Fulanis in some local communities or the forests. They will be raising alarm. Nobody will listen to them. So when they get attacked, the survivors, when they come back and say, okay, yeah, we need to go back and face them, they usually know where they are. Yeah. The perpetrators of terrorism in Nigeria usually don't go away when they finish. Have you seen that before? You come to a community, you kill tens of people, and you still stay around. You are not scared that military will come, the police will come, or they'll start raiding. They still hang around. Some of these communities actually group themselves to go back and fight them. That's when the military will show up with their full kit, everything, and they'll start shooting at the people gathering so that to disperse them. They will still even arrest some of them, and this has been the mode of operation. So now, knowing that this whole thing is actually not about religion, those who are trying to play religious card, promising the fanatics, the religious fanatics in northern Nigeria, that they are fighting jihad. They are doing everything to save Islam. And that is why they have to support them electorally. Majority of them, right? It is now very much obvious that maybe this whole thing, in fact, what is maybe? I don't want to put doubt in your mind. I want you to see this clearly, okay? The fight or the terrorism in Nigeria is not about religion. It is a fight for the vast mineral resources scattered all over Nigeria and the fanatics using religion to win elections, using religion to intimidate and threaten people, especially in northern Nigeria. It is coming to light that it is not about religion. It is actually about control over a vast resources that Nigeria and the handlers of Nigeria would rather profit from than utilize for the benefit of all of you. Turn Nigeria to a place that will stop begging, borrowing, and that will stop producing the poverty that has made a place the poverty capital of the world. The resources are there, and this is why they are killing you. You don't know what is probably targeted at your own area right now, and you may never know until you begin to ask questions. Why are they killing us? What do these people want? Do they want to come and turn us to Islam and all that? Are they coming to say they are fighting for? No, nobody is fighting for anything. They are fighting for this and using religion to recruit the people, giving them the drug and the money, the guns, right? To go after and chase people out of their communities. Now, if Nigeria was a place, the question people are asking is that, can these people who are funding this terrorism in Nigeria, can they do the same thing in countries like this, in Europe, in America? Would the Americans actually allow something like this to be done by the Chinese in their country to their people? And all of you who are living in these countries, right? And then seeing the damages this is, genuinely, some would say you can't blame the Chinese. Okay, you blame the people that allowed them, right? So good. So when you see the terrorism in Abia, in Abuja, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, everywhere you see this terrorism, no matter the coloration they give to it, no matter the name they try to call it, if you pay attention very well, they are just the disguise, to get you talking. You know, Nigeria is so divided, religion, tribe, and all those. So what would they do? Just flag that. A divided country that can't keep our people safe exposes itself. Now, look at it this way. We have terrorists coming from the Sahel, from Niger, from Chad, according to the, we have some coming from Libya, others coming from all those places, okay, invading Nigeria. And then you start asking, what do they want from Nigeria? Why should all of us our lives should be endangered? Now, let me show you this. Simply because you have a greedy, selfish people, right? That the corruption runs so deep that the deep states that have taken over everywhere are ready to let us die because of these natural or mineral resources, right? I am from Ogun State, okay? So we also have, let me see. Yeah, we have a bitumen. We've got bitumen that is used for making a road. You see all those your road, quota on your road. Bitumen, we have that. So we have clay. I'm sorry, we have clay. We have feldspar. I don't know what that is. We've got gemstone. You know, gemstone is also like a very valuable stone called gemstone. We've got kaolin. We've got limestone for cement. We've got a phosphate. We've got a gas, LNG, liquid natural gas as well. Just to mention but few. Like Nigeria is so blessed across the place, right? That the owners of Nigeria could not really maximize that to the advantage of their people. Foreign direct investors who are attracted to your country because of what you have should primarily know that, number one, you should be considered very rich, not considered very poor, that deserves probably not what you have. And the only people that should keep you safe are the people that are looking for what is in it for me or you. Zamfara gold. You've heard about Zamfara gold and others, yeah? In Borno State, where they are getting bentonite, diatomite, gypsum, hydrocarbon, kaolin, and limestone. Is in that same Borno. They also have lithium too. Lithium used in making a battery. There's a particular resource there that made kind of media frenzy at the time. That why did I forget the name? I forgot that. Anyway, now what we have been told is that if you pay attention to the areas where these terrorists and terrorism are really, really, really like fire, areas where the Nigerian military Nigerian government have completely abandoned are areas that these Chinese illegal miners are flying helicopters to, are driving armored vehicles into. You know what I mean? Protected, heavily protected with money, weapons, and they are taking them to these terrorists. They are now also using these terrorists as runners too. Runners in the sense that when they need to protect the extracted resources, and they need to take them out of the zone, these guys are also their runners who do the transportation for them until the handing of locations. All these areas are territories up north Nigeria that are no longer under Nigeria control. Military have completely abandoned them. All you read in the news is just the collateral damages, that they are actually capturing people to make money. The level of terrorism in Nigeria right now is now being pointed at those who are supposed to be called the foreign direct investors, FDIO, foreign direct investment. And you can be a victim and you'll be asking yourself, what am I doing here? What have I done? What's your sin? Your sin is because you are in Nigeria as a Nigerian that is actually not really protected. No protection from those who are coming to take advantage of you. No protection from those who sworn to protect you from them. And here you are at the mercy of those who, and that's why you see today in Nigeria, they have the madness, the craze of, or should I call it the menace of the loan sharks run by these also Chinese companies. They are committing crimes, and it's being committed at the most ridiculous rate that you think petty crimes that you can say, oh yeah, should be, but going to people's places, extracting their resources with violence, sponsoring terrorism in behind it, and calling it what? And as I'm talking to you, take it or leave it. Nigeria is very, very helpless, powerless. I know you probably would tell me that if Nigeria want to save blah, 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 Nigeria can, no. Stop living in that la la land, okay? Nigeria is done for. A lot of you may not know the damages. A lot of you may not understand the damages. A lot of you, why am I using this? Some of you, watching me right now, right? You may be very comfortable pointing fingers. In fact, you may be one of those who are the unity beggars. Those ones who believe that talking about the damages, the consequences, and possibly telling people that to stop or to end it would have to mean you have to stop doing the same thing again and again. Okay? So let me break it down for you. Nigeria is so messed up that every institution, you see, in every country, institutions are meant to be very, very powerful, impenetrable, incorruptible. Because once an institution is corrupt, lives will be at stake. Do you understand what I mean? Let me give you an example. Health as an institution. You have an administrator of health, regulators. Their reason for having them is to protect what is right. To ensure what is right, sustain what is right, and prevent what is wrong. Because any little mistake, whether through policy or the error or action of somebody, can actually cost life. And if it has to cost lives, then their job is to prevent all of that, whatever it's going to take. As an institution, they have to ensure of that. As a government, the survival of that institution, the independence of that institution, the service of that institution to millions of people is so sacrosanct and so powerful and beyond any interest, because any little mistake will cost lives. Look at the health sector in Nigeria. Look at the administrator of healthcare in Nigeria. Look at the mess it is. That's an example, Abi. Okay, let me give you another example. Defense. All over the world, a lot of you will talk about America defense, powerful country. Russia, powerful country. You're talking about their defense. You are talking about the institution that hold that belief, or that institution is so important to their country that any little compromise will open the country to vulnerability. And opening the country to vulnerability will expose the citizens of that country, and it will cost lives. Do you understand? Compromise. Little compromise to an institution will cost lives. You can't play politics with some certain things. Once you do, it will cost lives. Look at education, right? Look at your economy. Look at your Buharinomics. Institutions that are supposed to protect you, protect your interests, they have been compromised, and then you are opened up to all kinds of vulnerability. So right now, just give me one institution in Nigeria that is not compromised. Judiciary? Are you kidding me? No, you can't be serious. Miscarriage of justice in Nigeria? Is that not why we are here? The unfairness, the inequality, the impunity, the injustice. So you can't jump everywhere and start asking for unity by ignoring all of this. Give me one institution, just one, that is not compromised. Today, you see defense, NDA, Nigerian Defense Academy, I'll be waiting to call them. Nigerian Defense, they are defending terrorists. And they are shutting down their citizens, the victims of terrorism. They are jailing them for speaking out because they are trying to incite the people for talking about their experience. And they said that a repentant terrorist can become your president. A military man said that in Nigeria to millions of Nigerians. Tell me, which of them is not compromised? Which of your institution is not compromised? Do you even know what that means? Do you? That everything have to just be like, everybody just do what you get. Do what you can do to get to wherever you want to get to. Oh, Baba, now Nigeria be that. Are you new here? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Nigeria is so messed up that when politician promises anything, it is so strange that some of you actually believe them. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why you actually believe. Well, some said they have to start somewhere. Somebody has to do something. No, you can't do anything. The entire system needs to collapse, right? Start afresh. How do you do that? This entire whole rotten system has to go. How do you do that? You see, asking me a question. By stopping doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result. Turning yourselves to prayer warriors after doing the wrong thing. Okay. Unity begging won't change that. That is why we are where we are. The Biafrans want to leave. Why do you think they want to leave? Marginalization, injustice. Do you actually know what that means? To be considered maybe second, third, or fourth class citizen in your own supposed country? And all you have to do is just to learn how to live with it. Because what are you going to do? You just have to learn to live with it. Do you actually know what that means? Okay, call it ranting. Anyway, all I want to say is that it doesn't matter whether you want to continue to be dishonest. The whole point is that the consequences of all of this is not limited to those you wish will be punished for not agreeing with you. But take a look at the bigger picture here. A messed up country that cannot keep you safe. And now you have loan sharks. You have terror sponsors. You have criminals who are running things in your country. Something they can't really do elsewhere. And then you ask yourself, who should we report to? Some said, fight back. You can't fight back with your arms. And you have no fighting kind of a chance when you are targeted by your government. This is not like, listen, this is not like, oh, Nigeria has a problem. Oh, listen, as a government, we need to tell you Nigerians, let's say the truth. There is a problem. And the problem starts from, number one, we have a compromised security system. Imagine a government coming out to say, we have a compromised security system. to combat this, and that. But because of this issue, we want to ensure that citizens are given enough leverage to help, right? Number one, build what is called self-defense and help to apprehend or kind of stop the advancement of this terror sponsor and the activities. So, but instead of that, if you say PIM, you are under arrest. This Maiyegun, we sit down abroad and be talking. That's what you think, right? Because that's exactly what they want you to say. But that is not going to change the fact that I am not saying that all the Chinese companies, you can see that I'm very much specific about those that Nigeria granted mining licenses. And because of their licenses, they have now escalated into illegalities that even a tabloid, well, even an investigative report just came out to tell us now that there are Chinese, I've shown you the clips anyway, there are Chinese contractors in Nigeria that have been fingered, arrested in different parts of Nigeria, not arrested in different parts, but have been fingered in these different illegal activities across Nigeria. But because they are becoming more desperate and desperate and desperate, and in most cases, right, uncontrollable and uncontrollable, they have now ventured into paying militants, paying terrorists to help terrorize the people in an area, provide security for them, and also act as runners for them. We are talking about a gun running and then, and all this running as well. Illegal activities. This is evidence and is confirmed as we speak. But the point here now is that what do you do to fight back when your government is actually behind it? Or, the people in your government behind it. Others said that that's why we need to break up. Of course, that is why. And do you know why they are turning the conversation around everybody going their separate way in Nigeria? Do you see why they are turning it into a sort of a request for war? They are now calling referendum war. Even educated people are calling it war, because those who are benefiting from a contraption Nigeria as we speak today, those who are unleashing this never seen before terrorism all over Nigeria, both foreign and local today, is broken up Nigeria at this point. It's no longer the loss of the politicians who are milking Nigeria. It's no longer the loss of their accomplices and their associates outside Nigeria who are milking Nigeria. It is now much like Nigeria has become a sort of a crime scene, right? Criminals' den. Local and foreign are thriving in Nigeria criminal industry. And in this case, like I told you before, they have now turned the terrorism industry, they have turned terrorism in Nigeria to a big multi-billion dollars industry. The more they spend money on insecurity in Nigeria, the more they spend money to fight terrorism in Nigeria, the more the terrorism keeps escalating and keeps escalating and it keeps escalating. Ask yourself, what exactly do they want? To turn all of us to Muslim? Or to turn all of us to Fulani? Or to turn all of us to what exactly? Then probably you'll begin to have the answer. So when you now say, should we report to who? Who should we report to? The people behind it. So we are at the stage whereby it will have to implode. That's what I think. It will have to implode, because when a bubble keeps, it will eventually kind of burst. The criminals in Nigeria, they are taking ridiculous loans from China. It was also under this Bokwari that Bokwari withdrew $10 billion of your money from your foreign reserve. I don't know if you still remember that, or you have forgotten, among other things you've seen happened under them. I don't forget, and I will always say them every time they come to mind. Bokwari in 2017 or thereabouts withdrew $10 billion from your foreign reserve, and they handed the money to the Chinese government. They also opened a yen, a yuan, whatever account for them in China. This was their deposit as a credit. No, there's something you call that, guarantee or something. I don't know. A deposit to say, take our money, and then you can begin to partner and do business with us. You remember that time? And to this day, nobody knows what happened to that $10 billion. And to this day, they said they were doing all of that to crash the dollars in Nigeria, because Nigeria will now be trading with China. You remember that? So they trade with China, Nigeria to yen, abina yuan. What is their money again? Why am I yen? Japanese yen, Chinese yuan. Security, yeah, it was meant to be like a collateral or a security. They handed them that $10 billion that year. And since then, they've taken over $28 billion worth of loan from China. Sure you get? Yes, they're owing China close to $30 billion as we speak. And that is why the plot is that if they succeeded in building your train and all of that, and they start operating, like China will actually have to operate them and get their money back in the next 50 years. Some of the money they gave to Nigeria, but they gave Nigeria more. It also more or less made Nigeria a visa-free for all Chinese interested in coming to Nigeria to do business. That's what they call them. So, you know, you are taking money from them. They are sending their contractors down to Nigeria, and they are partnering with Nigeria. You've opened the door for them, and you told them they could do anything. This time around, a corrupt Nigeria is now letting those who are running criminal operations in Nigeria, right, to go unchecked, except once in a while when they bring them to the media for us to see, while thousands are being ignored every day. I don't know how long the damages is going to be before we realize that. At a point, people actually believe that some prisoners are being sent to Nigeria to work as contractors. When they started seeing some behaviors of some of these guys, and they were like, how could you be an expatriate and be this brutal, murderous, and so kind of, you know what I mean? People have stories. So people are now like, did they give them that so much immunity, so much kind of unchecked, you know what I mean? To the point that the Chinese in Nigeria, they are now building, they have now built their own police stations in Nigeria. There was a time he made news, and hey, Chinese, no, they've already have their police stations. In case if you don't know, they have Chinese police station in Nigeria. And according to them, it's just a police station for their workers. Sure you get? Because Nigerian police station may not understand them very well. So their own police station is that if any Chinese commits any crime, they will take them to their own police station. So people are now saying that, really? Yeah, that's how much. Like, how many are they in Nigeria, and what are they doing? Can they be tracked? Can they be, you know what I mean? These are the questions. So they didn't just give Nigeria money. But why didn't just dip you in debt? Generational debt. That you can't really point at right now. Nigeria will be paying debt for the next 57 years at a minimum. But with Kolu and the rest also coming on, right? You probably will have to leave this world poorer. Your children, this is not a cause. So you can say, God forbid, and all of that. And I say, God forbid it for you. But there are millions that are actually going to be the victim of it. Where do you think 140 million Nigerians, they say poor Nigerians, come from? Don't you think they are human beings in their millions? Where do you think their poverty came from? They came from all of this. So rather than have money for development, now you have people who are stealing your resources. They are not paying money to government, okay? They are not paying money to the communities they are taking all this from. There is no benefit to the communities. There is no benefit to Nigeria. And millions of dollars of your resources are being taken every day. and nobody can say what is going on. I mean, think about it. Nigeria is oil producing. At a point, Nigeria is the highest oil producing country in the entire Africa. Third in the world, I think. And Nigeria should be one of the richest countries. I mean, like, we had our chance, right? Then APC Egbekegbe came in. They said Nigeria was producing 1.8 million barrels of crude oil every day. That's some money. Multiply that 1.8 million barrels. One barrel. A barrel is actually around $87. Now, multiply $87 by 1.8 million. Whatever you get, that's exactly what Nigeria was making. Should be making every day from that crude oil. So by the time they give Nigeria is their own royalty, which is the percentage they give to them, I think it's 40% or something. The oil companies will take their own percentage. Their family members and all the political hang-ons who owns the oil block, they will take their own percentage. And at the end of the day, Nigeria actually take lesser from the money they make from oil in Nigeria. The one that comes straight to the Nigerian cover is less than 50% of the money. Some of you don't know that. Do you? Do you know that? The Nigeria is not a Nigerian government. As NNPC of Nigeria is just an oil company by name. It does no oil extraction, no nothing. It just takes royalty from oil companies that are extracting the oil in Nigeria. Do you know that? The Nigeria has no equipment, one single $1 equipment extracting oil in Nigeria at all. Okay. Now that you do know, it is called partners. That's why you have oil companies in Nigeria. They are the ones extracting all those things. When they finish extracting, do all they have to do, and the oil market is this how much, they give Nigeria percentage. And Nigeria has never collected up to 50% of money they are making from Nigeria oil. Since Nigeria has been making money from oil. You can go and verify this. Sure, you get all those people who own oil blocks from northern Nigeria. They are collecting from your oil money every, Then something happened. Maybe they just felt like, why are we paying this money to Nigeria? You know what I mean? Let's just escalate and divide the whole thing. What happened is this. We'll choose those who are going to sell our own stolen oil to. Nigeria from 1.8 million crude oil every day dropped to 800,000 barrels every day. Almost 1 million barrels of crude oil is being stolen from Nigeria. And this is not something you can carry your own jerrycan. You can't carry your own tanker and say you want to go and steal crude oil. This is not crude oil stolen by people who have tankers. These are people who have, vessels. I'm talking about an oil vessel, massive oil vessel that requires days, if not weeks, to load. We are talking about those that carry millions of crude oil. It will take weeks to load. On Nigeria water, undetected, they were loading over 700,000 crude oil. Nigeria was losing over 700,000 barrels of crude oil every day for more than 60 years, ladies and gentlemen. So they chose to start selling the oil. And guess what? The countries that were buying the stolen oil from Nigeria for years, they are known. Some in Europe, Australia, Canada, and few other places that are also buying the stolen oil. All these are being done illegally. Sure, you get the money is not coming to you. You are just hearing about the money. Same thing with those who are now stealing your natural resources. They are not paying any money to Nigeria from stealing that. They are not paying any money for the communities they are destroying. It is all lose to everyone. What does that tell you? And what does that tell you? It tells you that Nigeria is irredeemable. It runs deep. Very deep. A country that can't build its own refineries or manage one went to the world, to Europe, European Union, to borrow them money because they want to build pipeline hundreds of kilometers away from where the oil is, so they can go and refine it somewhere else, hundreds of kilometers away, with money they don't have. They decided to go and borrow 6.5 billion naira. I'm giving you all these figures just to let you know that even if they pretend that they want to do well, their actions and all that are saying otherwise. And in all of this whole thing, the consequences is so dire or dire, whatever, that you are not spared, whether you are from northern Nigeria or southern Nigeria, whether you are an Igbo man or Yoruba woman, a Fulani man, or a Hausa woman, Ijo, Idoma. The moment they cite something to kill for in your area, you will start asking questions. Why are they killing us? What have we done? What did we do? Then you look around and say, who should we run to? The government. And talking about the government, who are the government? Politicians. Who are the politicians? They are the reflection of you, Nigerians. Can't you see how worked up some of you are? How angry you get when they talk about your politicians, the ones you kind of, that you love, you respect, is abusing our leaders. This Maiyegun, you will see what will happen to you. You are insulting our leaders. You are insulting elders. Don't you have home training? The reason why I don't like this boy is because he insults elders. Your elders and your leaders are a reflection of you, no doubt. And that is why a lot of Nigerians don't hate oppression. They don't hate corruption. Okay? They just don't like it. When they are not the one doing the oppression. When they are not the one benefiting from that corruption. When they are not the one doing the brutality, then they don't like it. And that is why in Nigeria, we believe that every abnormality is kind of normal in Nigeria. When you see a policeman that is underpaid, but according to him, he must obey the last order. Now, he can't complain. He can't protest. He can't even go on strike. Because he himself believes that he can't do that. Because he's working. Okay? Even when he's pretty much like being mistreated by the system that gave him the job. So it's all right if he decides to use that little position to oppress anybody who is kind of below him. The civilians. Give me your money or I shoot you. Sorry, sir. Yeah, take my money. Please don't. Oh, yeah, go inside his cell. You want to see your son? You go and bring 1 million naira. Why are they collecting money from you like under duress? Why are they kidnapping you on the road? Why must you give them money? Then you hear Nigerians. I see this one is not America, Jare. This is Nigeria. That's how we do it. Oh yeah, give them, Jare. Give them the money. That's what they are eating. They know they pay them. Nigeria police, they know they pay them well. So what do you want them to eat? They have family. They have everything. What do you want them to? Just give them. 20 naira. Give them 50 naira. Just give them and let us go. It's all right. And you can actually pick any of them to go and oppress somebody by paying them money. Hello, officer. That boy abused me on social media. Officer, I want to show him. Send me your account. So officer will be like, what did he do? What did he do? He was writing rubbish about me. His name is Maiyegun. He's saying nonsense about me on YouTube. I want to teach him a lesson. Okay, I'll send my account. Officer. Then they will say, Maiyegun, you need to go and pay officer because that person don't pay officer. Officer is looking for you. And the money they gave officer, if he catch you. So Maiyegun will now be like, hello, Sean. Hello, Maiyegun. Are you Maiyegun? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am sending my boys to come and pick you now. They are bringing you to the station. Officer, sorry, sir. What did I do, sir? Sorry, sir. Officer, I'm your boy. You are. Officer, I am a very gentle boy, sir. How gentle are you? Officer, anything you want, sir. See, don't mind him, that guy, In fact, officer, I want you to go and beat him. How much did he pay you? Well, he gave me 1 million naira. So I've told my boys to, officer, I'll give you 5 million naira. That boy that gave you 1 million naira, you're going to take him. I want you to beat him. They say, that's how they do it. The officer hasn't committed any crime. He's doing his job. The officer will then go and take that person. Okay? And they will start looking for what crime should we charge him for. Can you charge him for no? Yes, sir. Charge him for Yahoo Yahoo. That's a good one. You are a fraudster. We are coming to search your house. You are yes, sir. I'm the one who gave you 1 million naira that reported that person that he cheated me. Shut up your mouth. That's how you do it and spoil people's name. And try to spoil people. Maiyegun, that Maiyegun look like somebody that can. Are you mad? They will know that Maiyegun has paid higher money. That is normal. It is. And so many other abnormal things that people will just have to justify. Then when it comes to their leaders, they have this stupid assertion. Politicians are the same thing, Charade. Let us just pray to God to give us one that will think about us. The one that will love us. I'll be like, oh, sorry. Go easy. If they don't raise you with love, they don't raise you with care, they don't raise you with affection, Baba, they don't raise you. I mean, so they didn't raise you with empathy. The moment you open your eyes, congratulations. You started hearing Oshodi, Ikulomapaya. So go kill your papa, go kill your father, up Nepa, and all of those, and you're like, damn it, I am back in this place again. Our hustling starts from when we are babies. Hello? They will start saying that, why do you leave this your baby here? I will feel like hematoma. He will get used to it. His brother was just 3 months old when he started doing things on his own. See, please, he will get used to it. There's no time. We were born into hustling. We were told that we have to survive. Survival of the fittest. Do you know that? I wasn't born with silver spoon. I wasn't even born with any spoon. Even though I was told that my papa and mama, so my papa get money and their family get money, but I wasn't. Maybe I was, but I didn't taste it for long. It was Ozu. So everybody is now like survival of the fittest. And they keep reminding us, out of 5 babies born in Nigeria, out of 10 babies born in Nigeria, 5 of them are not going to live to see their 5th birthday. Mortality rate, baby mortality rate. I am telling you, these are facts. Go on and check them. Scary stuff. Then they give us age. Say if you live as a baby, like me, you lived, can't turn 5. They're supposed to do birthday for you because so many of your mates, they don't make them that far. Because of the poor healthcare system in Nigeria, because of so many other things that will not make them make it to 5 years old. So I made it. Also number 1. Then you have to go to Jeliosimi. Jeliosimi is what you call the kindergarten. In Yoruba, they say, just let the house have some peace. Send this one to somewhere, make them lock and there. You call it KG today, kindergarten. And then you dress them up. When we were younger, now bowl they go give us. When I was a baby, bowl, bo. So that they go put my gari there. My gari, they tie my gari and epa and sugar inside that gari. So they say, oh yeah, put her inside your bowl. Me and my bowl, we go to Jeliosimi. Also, lati kekereo. No love, no nothing, and then the rest of that, people will, well, not like that. So don't let me kind of ruin it for my mom, who did a lot. What I'm saying is that it's not like we were pampered. Oh, I didn't hear that word until I came to the UK. Do you know that? Oh, I swear to God. Kilon. As you know, when you come home and you say, I'm going to be first. Because I used to kind of be first in my class then. First, I am first. I say, drop that and go and fetch water. We'll come back to that. Not like, Where would you like to go and spend your, oh, you came first. Wow. UK or America? I didn't have that. I'm glad that I was raised in love, by the way. So what I mean is that we didn't have that pampering. We didn't have that getaway. You are meant to be upright. And in fact, we have to grow fast. Yeah, you have to, because it's time. You go fetch water, you go clean this, you go do that. All those things, you have to do them because they are shaping you ready. Today, all these children, see your children watching Maiyegun like now. Oh, more watching Maiyegun care. Anytime, you know what I'm saying? So, when we now have leaders that you call your leaders, who ended up having to become the horrible people who don't give a damn. So it's so kind of annoying for people who made their choices. You make a choice, right? But you don't want to be responsible for that choice, right? And therefore, you suddenly just want God to be magician after giving power or giving sort of, power to those who are known to be robbing you every now and then. And then you turn around and you say, we're like, God will lead them. It's only God that will touch them. God touch who? When? And that's the point. Where I kind of love to talk about the consequences of people's choices. By understanding the consequences of your choices, sometimes they may help you, right, in preventing such in the future, right? If you know something, right, like, oh, because I do that one, no. But some of you would rather die than take responsibility. And I've told people, I said, listen, I am your punching bags. Point all those fingers at me when it makes you feel better. And then you protect the criminals who swore to actually keep you safe. And here you are, vulnerable. So on Maiyegun's Diary Politico, it is mine to kind of dig into that your deeper soul. Yeah? That your subconscious or your consciousness. Something that gets you to think for once. What could it be like if I choose to stop doing same thing again and again? Supporting same thing again and again. Not just politics, on everything. And then expecting different results. Something they call that is an act of insanity. And there are many, many million insane Nigerians right now. A lot of them they actually appear like they are educated. But let me show you something. In Imo State, in Nigeria today, by the way, all over, they are doing what they call the supplementary elections. Supplementary elections are the elections that couldn't be completed or concluded during their last charade. So they just said to complete the whole thing, charade, and as expected, just same old drama. This person speaking here, you would think is an educated person, a lawmaker. But like I've been saying, these guys are criminals. Even if you think they are respectable people in your world, not in mine. And when you do away with them, you are likely going to be like so disgusted that you've endured this for long. And I think we are not in majority yet until a lot of you are so disgusted about them. This is in politics, is it?
For emerging as a candidate of our party, and we assure him on the Kenya logo, our 15 polling units. We will close up everywhere. We will give him 100% of 100%. No other party is allowed to come to Kenya logo to campaign in the Kenya logo in that election. I'm giving it to you as instruction and as a directive. No other party should be allowed to drop anything, canopy anywhere in the Kenya logo. That is our position.
And the guy with that, he's a lawmaker, and I think he's already like something elect, like Kolu. So it's now rep elect. So they are doing a campaign for Hopeless Uzodingba to be the next for a second term. Anyway, so it's like war in Imo State. All for what? So this is the kind of fascism that you would expect people to remember. The APC, they are actually like fascists. Okay, their style of politics is so violent, and people destroying people as well, in a way. But unfortunately, the people that are that are fighting on social media are the real ones that they consider, fascist and the rest. But look at this guy. This one is a rep candidate in Ebonyi. Okay. So the story, you want to hear his story, is a Labour Party candidate in Ebonyi. Now, he's expected to be part of those who are going to do the supplementary election, okay? The election they didn't do then. But now, he has been arrested. You know why? They arrested him for hiring thugs to kidnap a PDP chieftain in his constituency, to torture him. God knows why. To prevent him from stopping him from becoming elected rep. That's the story the media is carrying. So they said they tortured the PDP guy and they killed him. So today, yesterday, a day before the elections today, they arrested him, okay, for murder, for torturing a murder. And that's his story. But the people that are also countering that same story are saying that that's so cheap and it's a pure lie. That is pure, what do you call it? A pure setup or something like that. According to them, they wanted the guy away. So they have to set him up for murder. But that's him, for murder. Trying and standing for that. But look at this guy. This one is already a House of Rep member who is also running again for the 5th time. He's been in the National Assembly for 16 years, Dogua. So if he goes back now, it will be his 20 years. Right? However, on the 25th of February, in his constituency, this guy rounded 12 people up because he suspected that they won't vote for him. Women and their children, they were rounded up in a single place. And they were shot, point blank, executed. And they were burned. The entire house was burned down. He himself was, with eyewitness, was saying to have personally shot 2 people. Just why people watch you, this is not like a sort of an attack. They went to the community and they rounded some people up that they considered as working against him, APC. And they took them to a place, a location, and they set them as an example for people there, the communities there, by killing them and setting them ablaze in the public glare, public view, to the point that they couldn't even hide it, that the police have to go and arrest him. They arrested him and they took him to court. In court, he was remanded in prison, right? And surprisingly, the same court granted him bail. 12 people because of election. 2 personally killed by him, shot at close range by this man. Today, he has been announced the winner. So because of that, they couldn't complete the election on the 25th of February. So they postponed it. Today, they are celebrating that he has been declared winner of that constituency election by this man, Mahmoud. So he will be going back to the National Assembly, a murderer. And because he is not Igbo, this one is going to stay in jail for as long as they want him to be in jail. But you see this one, by June, he is going to be inaugurated as a lawmaker in Abuja. And they will say he has a case in court. So he will be going for his murder trial while making laws for the rest of you. your country will reflect your leaders. So just, it is what it is, Abi. So others are hungry. The Akolu was declared as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. The list is shared with Joe Biden, some scientists, writers here and there, and people are going bananas. How can you make a call, do this and that? You nonsense. All of that. Say, well, the point here is this. All of you should just kind of begin to pay attention to what matters and begin to ignore distractions like Maiyegun. Me, I am already following why and what will happen when their tribunal open next week. The tribunal will open and they will begin to take all the briefs from the parties, the ones suing, the petitioner, and the petitioned. So if you want to get lost in the old drama of the propaganda, where Iskolu is sick, demented, Obi arrested, not arrested, detained, not detained, Atifku, back in Dubai, no, he's in Jeddah, no, he's in Abuja, all of those things, right? Put them aside. And let's talk about what is really the issue, so that they won't use propaganda to distract you when they begin to perform their abracadabra at their tribunal, only for you to hear about it 2 days later. And I say, hey, where was that? How come I did not know? Because you are asking where is Pablo Escobar? Pablo Escobar, which is good. Keep asking. I'm just saying, do not lose the focus. You have tested the military, you have tested the police, you have tested the political parties, PDP, APC, you have put INEC on trial. And as we speak, even INEC chairman, if you see a one-on-one, with the level of this election, they are saying that they have never seen anything like this before, where the losers are pressurizing the winners, supposed winner, and everybody is running panic and running mad as we speak. Pressure. Where's that guy?
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing. Pressure ti wà. Mbazo Yoruba. Gbogbo nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ Louis. Pressure ti wà. Èyí gbogbo ṣe sọ. Ṣé ìlú lé fún alówó wa ànówó. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá máa kó anybody lẹ́yìn. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá máa kó anybody lẹ́yìn.
So don't get lost in the old shovel. Don't get lost in the rhetorics of tribal this, religious that. They are going to cook a lot of propaganda. I told you that before. They want to wear you out. They know that Nigerians have short memory span. Sure, you know what that means? There's so much that happens in Nigeria every day. Horrible, horrible things that happens that you can barely catch up. So when you say something, I remember. Irony. Ordinarily, they don't remember. Until you begin to say, but you remember that? Yeah. But when they do remember, they are not so enraged. They are not so angry. The way they were when that happened. Short memory span. And a lot of people suffers that, okay? Because there's so much to take in. So much. Who won't they cry about people they kidnapped last week? When they have already kidnapped like triple of the same number this week. Who want to be bothered about, somebody they said stole 10 billion naira 3 months ago. When somebody have already broken the record and stolen another 30 billion today. Sure, you know. So it's so much to take in. And that's why you have MaiyegunsDiary Politico. It's a diary. You can always go back and say, I remember something. That should be on the April 15th. Let me go to MaiyegunsDiary Politico. So tonight, when their propaganda work on you to wear you out, when you are no longer ready to protest anymore, when everything is just like so tiring, you just want to move on with your life, and the rest of all those things, they will wear you out. The obedience are kind of very tough. They are very tough. The energy, the tension, the everything. It can't be like, say, the election are next week. I mean, they are taking everything in. So please, for the record and for the people listening to MaiyegunsDiary Politico, let's go back to that, their court. And leave all of these other dramas, okay? What are the prayers? What are they asking the tribunals? I mean, the tribunal. And what are the defenses they've put up so far? Now, summary I go give you. It's just a reminder to let you know that that issue is still there. It hasn't gone. I mean, it's not gone yet. I want drink tea. I'm feeling like my voice is becoming thicker and thicker and all of that. Have you liked this broadcast, by the way? We currently have nearly 3,000 of us on YouTube, and I bet we have over 200 or so left on Facebook. Thank you so much, all of you who are still there on Facebook. Thank you. But on YouTube, right, you can use this time to pay your offering. I want to tell you something before I take calls, if I am going to be able to, okay? Now, you can go on now and then pay your offering, like the broadcast. Don't go anywhere, and when I get back, we will continue. Savagari Ewa, you they speak in tongue. Thank you. Now, this is going to be brief, okay? And then I would likely take calls, maybe one or two, so that you just be like, hey, hi. Peter Obi approached the court, and he's seeking for about 5 prayers at the tribunal to start with. So from tribunal, they're going to go to the appeal court. From appeal court, they're going to go to the Supreme Court. So the legal process, right, is expected to last for between 120 days and 180 days. That means 6 months before it is going to be concluded, their process. Even though people said this whole thing can be resolved like in a week. But the establishment don't want that. And that is why they are doing everything and trying to hold everywhere so that nobody can just go and get one court judgment that will say they should not inaugurate Kolu. Okay? But they have already wasted about 50 days, close to 60 days since the elections. Yeah? 60 days that they could have actually started the whole thing. But they didn't. That's deliberate. INEC, that conducted the sham, is expected to open its door for all the parties that have now gone to court to come and access the materials used in that elections as part of their evidence, counter evidence, to prove whether somebody won or lost. The INEC, which is part of the establishment, is becoming very hostile. Well, expectedly, to side with APC. I'm telling you these few things so that you understand what are the roadblocks. What are the reasons why you have legal delay? What are the reasons why they made it enough that the person that stole an election can become president over Nigeria and he will be running the whole affair of the country as a president even when his victory is still being challenged in court? It is Nigeria. So Obi is approaching the court, asking the courts 5 things. I'll tell you the one I remember new. Okay? That's why I said I'm just going to give you the summary. Now, the first one is that Obi said, if the original votes, talking about the valid vote, not the manufactured figures, despite all of the kind of disenfranchisement and all of that, the INEC declared more numbers for Kolu where he didn't win such numbers. They declared that he won some places he didn't win. According to INEC, Tifnubu won in 12 states. Atiku won in 12 states. Obi won in 11 states and Abuja. Sorry, I think Atiku won in 13 states. Tifnubu won in 12. Now, from the 12 that they declared for Tifnubu, according to Obi's 5 of them, he no even reach anywhere, talk less of winning. He no even get second. The original figure, if they actually apply to Tifnubu, is 8.9 million, would drastically drop. Then some areas as well, where they even told him that he won in Obio, like Plateau State, where the record showed that they had over 1.8 million for Labour Party alone. Shocking, right? Not shocking. A lot of you, like I said, you have short memory span. When these guys were doing their 1 million march and the rest of that, without giving anybody a dime, I covered all of that. I saw the crowd and they said, these were the people who are available. The Israel supporters, they are working. They don't attend these rallies. People said that and they proved that in the elections. So they said that their vote in Plateau State, his vote was cut down by 1.2 million. Now take that. Had 1.2 million original votes, had it to the 6.1 million they gave him, that would take him to 7.3 million. Abi? In Rivers State, where they gave him a total vote of 170-something thousand, and they declared Tifnubu over 200,000 votes from Rivers State. The original figure shows that Tifnubu not even scored 70,000 in Rivers State. So they gave him extra. Obi, that they gave 173,000, he said his vote is 200-something thousand, 205,000 in Rivers. So they said if they use the original votes, right, and compare and contrast, number one, Tifnubu no get 8.9 million, and they want to prove it. In Lagos, where they declared them winner, they are disputing the results in Lagos. According to them, their record shows that they got over 948,000 in Lagos. And Tifnumbu got paltry 143,000 votes in the entire Lagos. Shocking, Abi? Of course not shocking. Don't pretend. Yorubas rejected him in Lagos. Not Igbos, not this or that. Yorubas rejected them in Lagos. That's what happened. But when INEC want to release the results, they added extra over 400,000 to that of Kolu Tifnumbu. 400,000 to his vote. They took over 400,000 out of the Obi's vote in Lagos. So what they are now saying is that when you take 400,000 out of what is left of Tifnumbu's vote, of course it's not going to get 8 million. It's not going to even get 5 million. So he's now asking the court that if they compel INEC to show them where they got the numbers they gave to Kolu, according to their law, the beavers should have it or saved elsewhere. So they need to show that if they show the number, they will realize that Kolu didn't even come second, not to talk of anything. Even Kwakwanso is questioning the numbers they gave to him. They lost Katsina, they lost Kaduna, they lost Kano, they lost so many other places that there was no vote dump anywhere. Where did the number come from? INEC come and show that. And according to Obi, if they show the number, then he will be declared winner. Okay. He should be declared the winner. No way sign. That's his first prayer. His second prayer is that by the Nigerian law, Tifnumbu and Shetima no even qualify to contest for president because he's a convicted drug baron. Yeah. And according to this, your law and law, I have evidence. I'm going to prove it to you that making him or allowing him to get away with this is like making a drug dealer the president of Nigeria. And the court will be responsible for that. That was waiting offended Tinubu and co most. How dare you take the drug case to tribunal? Waiting concern drug and election. So they expect to say that to the tribunal that there's no problem with election and drug. That's a different thing. Let's talk about election. You know what I mean? His third prayer that I remember is that after Tifnumbu is disqualified and the court feels like they are not satisfied that he has fulfilled all the constitutional requirement to be declared the winner for some reason, then they should run for another, they should conduct another election, a new election, right? That will be without Tifnumbu, the disqualified drug dealer. And the fourth one as well. This one is about INEC conducting the most fraudulent charm. Is also to what? To ask for a rerun election without Kolu. Now, these are the kind of the major prayers. Atiku on his own is asking the court to disqualify Kolu because Kolu, okay, another one is about forgery. That Tifnumbu forged his age, submitted forged documents, which is a crime. Perjury, he perjured himself, committed a crime by submitting fake documents to present himself as who he is not. It's a crime. He should not be running for office. And the court should prove that. But according to Kolu's lawyers, all these things are pre-election matter. Whether Kolu is educated or not, whether Kolu go to school or not, whether Kolu is LV or not, whether he is convicted of drug trafficking or not, all of this, they are pre-election matter. They're no matter in the real thing that decide if somebody win or lose the election. That's the argument. So they don't expect the court to disqualify or throw away Tifnumbu's high neck victory because he's a drug dealer or because he's trafficking. They don't expect that. They are pre-election. And because it is Nigeria, they won't disqualify him because of that. Trust me. If anybody says they will, no. What happened is that it can be one of the reasons why some of the justices that are going to sit on that Supreme Court, it could be one of their own moral reason, plus other reasons so why they will sign and say Kolu didn't win. And they will have to say how many say, if they say 4-3, 4 people believe that Kolu should be let to continue as president, and 3 justices says no. The 4 will have the day, and the Chief Justice will just give his ruling. But if the 4 of them says no, this man Pablo Escobar, no, it can't be no. Sure you get, and 3 people says yes. That's it. They will throw away the whole election. They will disqualify Kolu, and everything will just go exactly as they are praying the courts. Tough luck, yeah? It's a tough one. But these are the real issues. Those are the things you should be talking about. Those are the ones and the reason why you should be checking those who are going to be part of the... Some of you don't even know those who are in charge of the tribunals. I don't know them too. I'm guilty. But I'll find out, okay? You should know the members of the presidential tribunal in Nigeria who are going to be listening to all of this. Because Atiku is saying, Tinubu is a drug trafficker, so it can't be. He shouldn't even be running. And Atiku is also pointing out, listen to this. Atiku is pointing out some states that he believed that Kolu, they rigged the election for Kolu there. So the defense of Tinubu and the APC is that some of these states that Atiku is actually listing as places they rigged. They rigged him. There were places that Peter Obi won. Kolu didn't even win there. You know what I mean? I mean, according to them. But these are the issues. These are what somebody, papa, mama, go wear, what did they call them? Goat skin wiggy. They speak grammar, they lie, and twist, and the rest of that. 15 million naira a month, son. That's what they're going to be talking about. They're not going to be talking about Tinubu's pampas. They're not going to be talking about Tinubu's slaughtering and stuttering words and all of that. No, they won't. They won't be talking about Tinubu disappearing on you. They'll be talking about why this Allah Akbar.
Alhamdulillah. 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 Rabbil
Won't be talking about those. They'll be arguing law. And okay, the 5th one. Obi said they won the federal, Obi won the Federal Capital Territory. And they want to argue what is and. And so we are going to be looking at that, okay? I just thought I should tell you. So every other thing they are showing you out there, the rest of that, yeah? Enjoy them, okay? But if you are a real political student, if you are a member of this temple, pay attention. Don't get distracted by them, even if they kind of sound like, who cares? Of course we don't care. Of course we do. We care. Because I told you that the consequences of all of this are not limited to those who are so hell-bent in ensuring these savages are all after us. Take whatever they can, right? It's not limited to them. So we care, and we can possibly sound the warning bell and hopefully hope that somebody listens. I'll take off. Because at this point, it seems that I have taken all your time, and you might want to indeed add yours to this. Those who are funding criminality and terrorism in Nigeria, they are not limited to those who are propagating religion and the rest. There is more to it, and it's deeper to it. And with the vast, the vast availability of natural resources in Nigeria, like that, mineral resources, lovely ones, then are we actually up against something bigger? And some are even saying, could the Chinese government be sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria? That's so big. But the accusation is coming from a tabloid, which is that of the UK, the West. And some said that could be a red herring too. Like, it probably shouldn't be coming from them pointing the fingers when they have done worse over time. But hey, I'm more interested in the message than the messenger. And in this case, some might say, what should the people do? At this point, you have to use local solution to solve the local problems. You've known the problems now, and you can't live in denial of it anymore. Hello there. Hello. Oh, can you hear me? Yes, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening. This is Tolu Lope from Glasgow.
Hey, Tolu from Glasgow. Baba, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're so welcome, Baba. Now everybody can
I
hear
just
you
want to
because,
contribute. I'm fine. I'm really fine. I just want to contribute about the last number 5, which you just said about the Obi's petition.
Okay, please.
Yeah, you said you need to win the federal capital, and I think that has been even cleared in 2008, which what is it called? Buhari and Yaradua. By then, they said Buhari didn't win federal capital, and it has been cleared since 2008. And many even don't talk about that. More than 3 shan. And they said maybe they have changed the law again but as the law stand, they said 2008 Buhari didn't win the capital, so for that it can't be declared. So
go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see how they are going to dodge that in this particular case.
Because the
they are very
argument of
smart.
the people, the argument of the people is that if they say 2/3 of 36 states, because you have 36 states, Abuja is not a state, okay? So 2/3 of 36 states is 24 states, which is accurately correct. But there is nothing like 30, and some people are now saying that, Abuja is going to be considered as 37th state. Now, if you now say 37th state, Nigeria doesn't have 37 states, right? So what is 2/3 of 37? That's where the old lawyers, they're going to be shouting, my lord, next week now to try to convince us.
Yeah, but he did take Buhari in 2008. Like, he didn't win Abuja, and Abuja is banned. So that means it's complicating. I don't even know how they're going to sort that. But it has been ruled before in 2008 against Buhari and Yaradua by then. Yes. Yaradua. And they ruled that he didn't win Abuja. So therefore, these are the part of what he was disqualified by then. Like, he can't challenge the Yaradua. But we will see how it goes. I think he's going to start by next week.
That is right. By next week, Wednesday, the tribunal should open. And they will be using the Musa Yaradua something center in Abuja. I think they are actually going to be sitting in Abuja. I will get more details, including the names of the members too.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome, Abatolu. Nice one, eh? That's from Dugbomi, Glasgow. Hello there. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, Mr. Maiyegun.
Good evening, sir. Sorry, your name and where you're calling from, if you don't mind.
This is Don Gada.
Sorry, say that again.
This is Don Gada.
Don Gada. Baba, it's been a while. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Getting your phone is another issue. So sometimes I will try and I will just give up.
I know. I'm glad you made it tonight. Please.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to appreciate you for your program. Always keeping us updated. It's not that very easy. And I want to touch on the issue of, Nigeria. Sometimes I look at the youth, the hungry youth, like the video you show in Imo State. That particular man is not known for any reason. Now he is indirectly acquiring power for himself. So much power that at a time it will go out of hand, that people cannot control him again. And he will start controlling those people who he is using right now to acquire that power that is praising him. Yes, sir. Things like this. Things like this baffles me a lot, because these people stay in the same country with me and they see things that is going on. And they will still support that dictatorship, rule over them. And after we will start complaining. Secondly, in issue of Nigeria, we are just discussing, running about the issue of Nigeria. Nigeria is not going to be corrected. It can never work. Nigeria can never work. The institution has been manipulated. The individuals has been manipulated. Every aspect of Nigeria has been manipulated. Let me touch in the issue of police that we are discussing about.
Yes.
Every force is in Nigeria. the leaders of today has planned everything that they are executing today ahead of today. Because why I say this is because if you watch Nigeria Force is the only institution in the whole world that recruits illiterate ex-convicts in their forces. Why? Because these people, in case like this, in the situation we are in Nigeria now, these people are the ones that are supposed to be backing us, fighting us. For instance, in UK, in China, if such thing that is happening in our government is to happen in UK or in China, you will see police people, military people dropping their guns, backing the citizens. But in Nigeria, reverse is the case because they recruit the illiterate, the people who doesn't even have a primary school start, supplement of a secondary school start. Ex-convict. In my own state, I know so many criminals, ex-criminals who is police officers today. And what they do is moving around with AK-47, intimidating people, killing people for no reason. You understand my point? So
I'm with you, don't go.
I think every youth, be it Yoruba, Igbo, let me not go to that outer side because those people, they speak in different language. But those Yorubas who is fighting for a man, Nigeria is the only country who has an elected president disappear, escaping from justice
for weeks.
And you see youth who is going to suffer for that injustice, fighting for him on social media, protecting him just because he's a Yoruba man, just because he's from their tribe, just because I'm very